We are live. This is the market update. Happy Friday. I am your host, Bill Noble. Are you ready? Are you ready for this thing to go straight up? If not, we will help you. Do you believe it's going to go straight up? No, we will convince you. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like and the notification button. Now, we have got this stream. We have got the Patreon store loaded with the cyberpunk crypto small cap future. We will share the link to the Patreon store. We have got 4 new reports. 4 new reports. Don't know what to do in altcoins? You do now. You do now. YouTube members have got a lot of these coins, and we will be narrowing down the lists of like 12 into groups of 5 or even 2 or 1 when we talk on the stream. Let me tell you something. You see AI coins today, GOAT and Agent up 20%. We've been nailing this market. This is a major bottom. You will never see these prices again, period, end of story. And I think antivirus is next. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover Bitcoin. The politicians have to change the subject. The strategic reserve is coming. In antivirus, the Solana and ETH mixer is out. And I think the real game changer is going to be the new website in early May. A lot of people are asking, what about the antivirus marketing? And I'm like, don't we have a talking dead guy doing our marketing? Because he's talking now. The video podcast is coming out. So we have the person who invented the cryptocurrency revolution. As cryptocurrency is bottoming, as every sovereign on the planet just screwed up about as big as you could screw up without blowing up the world. Ethereum coming off its discount zone on LuxAlgo, and this Bitcoin conference at 77K. I said, get a ticket because there's no reason to get a ticket. And everyone laughed. Now there's a reason to get a ticket because there is approval numbers on sovereign leaders that show the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. It's either coming with sovereigns or corporations. And if you want to know who the next big corporate surprise buyer is, in my not so humble opinion, okay, I'm going to tell you later in the stream, and it's going to be a shocker. Or not, because the conversation needs to change. Not only does the conversation need to change about Bitcoin, because frankly, at this point, that's obvious. That's obvious to me, because Bitcoin's just going to blow through 100. I got a short video I put up. Can Bitcoin go over 100K overnight? And the views look like a pinball machine. People are back in looking for content. XRP, $27, anyone? Video coming soon. Don't laugh. It could happen. It could happen. Now, there's something else that can happen. You can have AI, memes, DeFi, real-world assets, either take off one by one, or we could just say, you know what? Let's do it all now. Now, somebody did ask a really good question because for years I made a living with sell in May and go away. That was something that came from equities where when the market would go up for 4 or 5 months, you would exit in May, the market would go down, and then you would come back for the summer rally in July. Well, guess what? We're not doing the equity thing anymore, per Toby Ward, who's been telling you that for a year. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So it's not sell in May anymore. It's buy in May. Don't believe me? Wait until you see the analog pattern matches for crypto equities, MicroStrategy, the miners. By the way, again, a report in Patreon that our guys, the Spartans, right? They had it early. I got them in here, snug as a bug in a rug. We have it in the store. The guys with the membership already have it. We have 100x small coins, 12 cyberpunk altcoins for the new future, a new HODL portfolio that's not Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And don't forget this, taking the world by storm in 2030. The altcoins for the revolution. What revolution, you ask? The revolution where we don't do what we did in April of 2025 ever again. And if they do, it's just going to moon crypto harder. Harder. Okay? Harder. Okay? We are going to welcome who is on the stream. And then we're going to roll today's Tech Bites. Bull Runner first on the stream. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the show. Donato, what's up? Right? A1, any banks we can do business with that don't question your digital asset investment and moving money in and out? That's a good question. JP Morgan asked a lot of questions when I opened an account, with way too many. 2 guys interviewing me, not understanding that I had a background in securities compliance. So, you know, but they let me do it, and Wells Fargo has let me do business with them with Coinbase. They're going to get their own banking licenses, so they're going to figure it out. Noah, A1 is here. Gian, a member for 6 months. Sir, salute to you. Pancakes and peanut butter. Joey, Patriot, Caveman. Daniel J, more than ready. A lot of these guys have been on the YouTube member streams where Toby has just been dropping the knowledge. Toby's like, yeah, it's going to the moon. Market looks like it's going to zero. Coinbase says it's winter. Toby's like, no. And of course, naturally, you want to check out the YouTube member area's latest podcast, where we are wearing cowboy hats. You want bullish cringe? I'll give you bullish cringe. 5 altcoins, hodl coins. I can't stay quiet. Massive. 9 days ago, Coinbase Institutional called for winter, and we were like, yeah, How about a picture of Toby and Michael Saylor instead? Not going to shut up about this ever. This is when you get people in, because I think people are still sleeping. And guess what? You want to know when this ends? I'm going to tell you when it ends. It ends on Sunday night when everyone figures out that this whole equities legacy debacle, it's not going to end as in, oh, stocks are going to go straight back up again. I don't think that's the case. But this whole thing where we live in fear of Sunday night and the Asia opening, you could have a gap move, especially as we head into the end of the month. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it that long. And if we're sitting here, even if some coins are moving 20%. Now, on that note, Sui is telling you. Solana told you back in 2023, and Sui is telling you now. Sui is moving like Solana did when Solana was at 20. And everyone thought it was dead, it was no good, whatever. By the way, me and the Patreon guys together as a tandem got everybody in at the absolute low in Sui, below $2. That thing is telling you what's going to happen to altcoins, DeFi, the whole space, right? Because something's going to happen on that. I don't know if it's gaming. I don't know if it's DeFi or if it's just fast money chasing what's hot. It doesn't matter, because crypto hedge funds are going to chase. And I got to get you in before that happens, which is what the YouTube member area is, which is what the Patreon store is for. You don't have a lot of money. You can't do the monthly nut for the membership. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And we'll help people in the middle tier offering in the Patreon group. We're going to have charts. We got them in on the miners. But dude, listen, don't tell me for what some of these other guys charge for research that a $50 report or a $45 membership or a $25 membership is out of your reach, because your kids are going to be asking you, when he's asking you, can my friend's robot come over and play with my robot? When the world looks like that, your kid's going to be asking you what you were doing when the tech and AI part of crypto was trading at 25 million market cap and all those coins are worth $1 billion. $1 billion is chump change. You can have fart coin at $1 billion. Can you imagine if you had something that actually did something or worked? Like I think we had a friend of mine came up with, like, he had Yearn Finance at the top, my friend Garage. He had Yearn Finance, and then he had something called Yield Box, YBX. I could, I found the site. I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's like 5,000 Twitter followers. But because he's a genius, he actually connected the two. So the next Yearn Finance could be out there, not investment advice. All I'm saying is, if you ain't shopping now, fine. But if you ain't looking now, you're crazy. Because when this thing erupts, it's going to be unbelievable. Don't believe me? We'll go through some of this right now. Like right now, Grandpa Keeter is here. Okay, loving the McAfee AI. Yappy saying Anti is going to blow up. It is. Right, it is. Charlie the Positive Cat. And just before I get going, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our friends in Canada. Somebody asked for a Canada shout out. I'm doing a Canada shout out every stream for the next 2 streams. Hopefully he sees it. And then second of all, hats off to the guys in the antivirus community who have kept tweeting, right? Despite the fact that there are fudsters out there who are scared of this project. And if they're scared before, they're really going to be scared, because I got an update. The ETH and Solana mixer is coming out. They're going to publish the code in a way to sort of show what they've done. And then a new website comes out. And when people figure out that they got a meme marketed by an AI resurrection of a dead guy that actually does something, we'll go check back with the fudsters and see how they're doing. Well, just a little snap check with the glove. See how it's going. News now. 81% of Americans think that sovereigns are corrupt. Yes. We're not waiting for these people to moon our bags, hence our bags will moon. And that's the market update. The other 19% probably work for Uncle Sugar. Congress, 2% thinks they are, 2% of Americans think they're clean. By the way, who reigns in Congress? We've talked about this. Who reigns in Congress? We do. Or the bond market does. It's like, hey, we don't have any confidence in you guys. Like, 100K Bitcoin will be doing the dance, right? We'll be doing the dance at 120. They won't be doing the dance at 250. Because at 250, that's going to be a loss of confidence in just about everything that they're doing. And whether you like the guys in power or you don't like the guys in power, at the end of the day, your future is up to you. Your future is available, which is what Michael Saylor has been telling you over and over and over and over again. Okay, so, TA on this market, this is pretty much what everything looks like. Everything is either destroyed. Some things have done a downward sloping wedge. Anti is doing what is hopefully an upward sloping accumulation cone. Okay, I don't mind in the YouTube member area, right? Toby has discussed that. Right, this entire give up trade, which is true pretty much across anything, just kind of demonstrating it here. Okay, here's the update. Reading it straight from the guy in charge. The cross-chain mixer will go live. If you have Solana, you need to move it. Okay, go ahead and withdraw it. The contract will be obsolete. There's no deadline to withdraw. The contract will always remain on chain, and we'll keep it up until the wallet is empty. The first AI McAfee podcast will be released tomorrow. That's today. We will also open source all of our code for the bridge and mixer tomorrow. The more people that use the mixer, the better. AIntivirus DAO appears also on May 2nd, where the community gets to vote and decide what the fee structure is on these mixers. So you'll be able to go from Solana to ETH, from ETH to Solana privately. Just in case you wake up one day and somebody says your money, our money is our money, and your money is our money. Don't think it can happen? Was that fiasco with the tariffs? Was that on your bingo card at the beginning of the year? Who blinks first? China may exempt tariffs on import goods. Looks like we got men behaving badly and governments behaving badly. This is over. And what happens when tariff talk tops? Again, Bitcoin doubles. It happened in 2017. It's happening now. That was when Toby in the member podcast said 2017, when it looked like this market was going to zero. I was like, all right, what can I find? This is kind of how it works. And I was like, wait, Let me see what happens. Level Perplexity says, we'll go through it in a PowerPoint. Again, what happens when they stop talking about the tariffs? Bitcoin would just go up. The number of tariff headlines go up, Bitcoin would stall. Number of tariff headlines on average goes down, Bitcoin doubles. Volatility in retreat, liberation, lull, or just a pause. This is a public service announcement. Attention shoppers, the apocalypse has been postponed indefinitely. We're sorry you listened to Ray Dalio on a left-wing news show claim the world was ending so he could cover all of his shorts in corporate bonds and treasury bonds and cover everything, and then reverse and get long, publishing something on LinkedIn going, oh, isn't it so nice that the US and China are reconciling? Because he's long now. It's the oldest trick in the book. The only thing he probably forgot was Bitcoin. And that's okay. Guys like Dalio can continue to sell legacy disaster. But what they should be showing is what I've been saying. Toby's been saying that this thing, the pressure in the system is going to be vented with crypto, AI, DeFi, and real world assets on the upside. Everyone is waiting for everything to go to. Doesn't have to. Just has to sit there and be dead, and people have to find a better answer. And they better find it, because when this thing goes volcano, you're going to have stuff moving in 20, 30, 40% increments, just like Arrow did. Like Arrow just moving 10% every day, Sui moving 10% every day. You're being told. There are always leading indicators. Arrow was a leading indicator on multiple run-ups, and instead of Solana, this time it's Sui. Just run it, right? It's not the end of the world. It's the start of the new one. Look at this. Our export orders disappeared. Factories shutting down, workers laid off. What a mess. Same thing on our side. Port of Los Angeles closed. Truckers laid off. Now look, I know this is horrible, but this is what happened back from 1980 to 1982. If you're going to break inflation, you got to, in a way, you got to break growth and you got to create some unemployment. And I know how scary, believe me, I know how scary that is. Believe me. I know. Okay. I've been through, everybody wants to hear the Goldman stories like it's all Goldman glory stories. I survived like 6 years of layoffs after 2008, right? When you break inflation, when you break an economic system, it's painful. And now the Orange Man's approval rating is so low. You saw the title and the thumbnail, the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, Michael Saylor, and I got a surprise guest at the Bitcoin party, in my opinion, based on a pattern match analog. Don't go anywhere. You won't miss it. When you see it, you go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. G, the left calling on Europeans to resist the United States. Europeans and globalists want to resist the Orange Man as threat in the effort to create a transnational sovereign system. Sir, would you like fries with your bugs? No, actually, I got a better idea. How about Bitcoin, Ethereum, antivirus, Sui, Render, the YouTube member area, Big Rich, T-Bone, Havoc, all these guys in Patreon? Shout outs to you, man. How about we buy a $49 report and then go buy steak 6 months from now or less? Or how about we just buy Bitcoin and watch it fly? The Great Shortening. No one can concentrate on anything for longer than 4 seconds. It's ruining society. So everybody comes in, they bought the high, they left. Now, they're not back yet. They're still not back. There's no way they're back. But if Bitcoin blows through 100 like it's not there, which is going to, everyone's 4-second attention span all of a sudden starts working in our favor. It's going to be like whiplash. It's like, oh, here I am in my winter jacket. It's crypto winter. Wait, it's through 100? Whoop. Holy cow, I got to get involved. That's how fast it's going to happen. That's why this is in here. This is why I'm screaming. Like yesterday, no joke, 5 a.m. to midnight to get all of this stuff loaded into that Patreon store. So, man, worst case scenario, you got the lists of where we think it's going. And what I did, by the time I made the third video, to be honest, by the time I made the third video, it practically became like the Cyberpunk Web3 podcast with the coin picks, of course. Because I was like, oh my God, Look at all these things and look at the story that they paint. And even if you don't do anything with those coins, you'll read those reports, you'll listen to the stories of the coins, and you will be so bullish. You'll be like, okay, I'm giving up Starbucks for the next week to get as much money as I can before the hedge funds and BlackRock FOMO into this thing. Doomberg, Trump sees trade deals coming in 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, that means they're already done. Very flattering picture of the president. It's over. Right? They've already done the pivot. He did it with the meme coin. Oh, wait a minute. Did I keep the meme coin up? Yeah, here we go. Here's the meme coin. The Trump meme coin. Right? Pops. LuxAlgo put support underneath it. Everyone mailed it in. Everyone said, I'm done. Boom. Off to the races. This was, it was the top, and now it's the bottom. And my hope is that this leads, the dogs and cats follow, and antivirus goes with it. Because, it's been stated, like Arthur Hayes has said it. Just Dario has said it. You can find a coin that actually does something, right? There's a lot of like machine learning coins too. Like we make the cloud better. We make machine learning better. Dude. Oh my God. We got a $20 super chat in here. Holy cow. Yav, a guy who watches every stream and a member. Thanks for not giving up. The Flex, the Pilot, the XRP. By the way, for $4.99, if you want to have as much fun as Yav is having with the emojis, you can join and support the channel because we will always be here to support you. Daniel J, silver FOMO next, and he's right, and ETH goes with that. This whole ETH is dead talk. Supposedly the Vitalik, the human story of Vitalik hit Apple TV 10 days ago. I've been too busy making videos to check that out. I'm going to check that out. Most likely, how much you want to bet that hit Apple TV at the bottom? BlackRock now holds 3% of the Bitcoin supply. They bought 1 billion this week. Yeah, because they need it for their own funds. This is why Fidelity has it, right? Why do these big mutual funds, like, I don't know, T. Rowe Price, why are all of these places like Ark, why do they have Bitcoin ETFs? So they can they can buy the Bitcoin, put the Bitcoin inside the ETFs, and then put the ETFs in their funds. Instead of having their funds have to go in the market and buy someone else's ETF. That's why they made them. That's why they proliferated. That's why BlackRock wanted it. I mean, BlackRock's equity people, and I've said this 3 streams in a row, and I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it. These equities guys, they think they need a 2% allocation. You need a 20% allocation. But of course, they won't figure that out until it was at 120 because, we were going into a recession and everything was going to zero, I don't know what, 3 weeks ago. And now everyone's going to have to go, oh, gee, I'm going to have to revise my work again. So everything was going to zero. Sorry, that was wrong. Let's go over here and go 20% Bitcoin when Bitcoin's at 110. Because at 77, it wasn't attractive. But at 110, I like it so much better. What do you think is going to happen? Like, let's talk about the Bitcoin conference, right? Last 2 crypto conferences that I went to, I bumped in one time at the Polkadot booth. It was unbelievable. I bumped into a kid, while I was talking to somebody from Polkadot, who said, the kid said he was from Bank of New York, which is a big custody house in New York City. I used to walk by their building, right on the corner of right at the corner, I believe, of Broadway and Wall Street. He's like, yeah, I've been sent around to talk to all the various crypto projects so I can report back to the guys in the suits. It's a 140-pound teenager in a T-shirt. What do you think is going to happen when these institutions start talking at the Bitcoin conference? When other institutions hear what T. Rowe Price, what BlackRock, I mean, these guys are all going to be there, right? And if you don't have a plan and you got other companies speaking on stage, and some of these guys didn't get it right. Like 2 or 3 years ago, T. Rowe Price says, we don't like Bitcoin, we like Rihanna ETFs, or Rihanna NFTs, excuse me. Now, they didn't exactly get that right, but they did have a crypto group that was practically a cheering section for the executive on stage. What the heck do you think is going to happen on Memorial Day after this thing goes up only, right? We got a new saying. The market's going to go SUI. Nobody, if you don't believe me, that's great. I know you do. You're watching the show. If you're new, it's going to go SUI. Ark Investments updates their 2030 Bitcoin price target to 2.4 million. Excellent. Actually, I think that number's too low. And if you go to Patreon and you go to like, altcoin 2030, 2.4 million is too low. However, we have not done enough to discuss. We have not done enough to discuss where this thing can go in the meantime. Where can this thing go in the meantime? Right? The altcoins that will take the world over by 2030. Huh? Wow. I didn't even know about Kathy's forecast for 2030. The cyberpunk coins and 100x small caps. Always manage risk with small caps. If you're allergic to monthly memberships, we got you. If you like monthly memberships where we focus in on specific coins, we got you. How loud am I going to get about this? Very. Very. SEC task force meets with Orange Man supporting firms to discuss regulation. You know what the best regulation is? No regulation. I understand they want Congress to make it all legal. That'll never happen. They'll get the stable coins through. They'll let the crypto companies be banks so they can use the stable coins because the stable coin companies will buy treasuries and they can surveil you with these things. And that's fine because it's eventually all going to wind up in Bitcoin. It's like taking a stockpile of government debt, leveraging it to create things that help people buy Bitcoin. PayPal is offering 3.7% yield. Okay. So you can keep their stable coin. Which, that's nice. I'm glad they're happy with that. But, you go and you wake up and, you brush your teeth and you come back and Sui's up 3% that day, right? So, people got to go find something to do with those stable coins and it's not collect 3.7%. ETH no longer required for gas. But even further, now you can choose a token to use as gas for all your MetaMask transactions. Wow. No more figuring out how to keep ETH around. They just let you trade. How refreshing. How refreshing. Unless gas goes back to $500, people are going to trade on ETH. And even if gas does go to $500, institutions are going to want to use that network. They're going to want to use that and they're going to want to use Solana. We got an altcoin. We got an altcoin in one of the reports, right? And most everything is like way down. And there's one coin that's way up. And I clicked on its Twitter and it says building finance on Solana. This thing's up only. That was up only. And today, WIF is up only. WIF is leveraged Solana. Okay, it's a dog coin, but it's leveraged Solana. Flying. I mean, you could have Solana go up 20%. Solana's like what, 140, 150? What is it? Who cares what it is? They may go after that thing like a lot. By the way, Germany has been in recession for 6 quarters. The longest contraction in the post-unification history. And it will be for at least another year. So someone got the great idea to deindustrialize Germany. I don't know who thought that up. Probably the same guys that want you dining on grasshoppers. They got to cut rates over there. They got to cut rates and print. This whole thing about US dollar interest rates of 4%. It's like we're choking the whole world off. Literally. How can we have the biggest country in Europe in literally a recession that seemingly never ends and have our rates be at 4%? That's crazy banana pants. Crazy banana pants, right? Absolutely nuts. Bill, what do I think about Pyth? Also noting here, one of Trump holders, Boop, just swapped 300K of Fartcoin into Trump so that he doesn't fall out of the top 25 for the dinner. Guess what? Guess what? Okay, Pyth. Pretty sure this is a Coinbase coin. Okay. I thought it was. It is. It is. I don't know, man, with all these things, right? This has been on one of Toby's lists before. You completely give up. You spend a week in the discount, 10 days in the discount zone. You break out of a downward sloping wedge. And this whole give up trade could be unwound. Like, I don't know if I can draw it. I don't know if it'll work, but like this descent, it's like a 60-degree angle down on this give up trade. Straight down on a lot of this stuff. Straight down. Requiem, good morning from South Texas. Duilo Madrid checking in. Welcome. Welcome. Daniel J, One Wall Street. Okay. Okay, super chats. Tao, Sui, and Render. Oh, God, dude. Okay, so Sui. So first of all, and again, this, because Sui is the leader, okay, Sui will tell you what is going to happen. Okay, here we go. So let's go to the 4-hour chart of Sui, which I think we mentioned yesterday. Not hard enough. So this is what we're looking for in the market. This is how it's going to go. So Sui goes straight up and gives you the 9 top. It's a 4-hour chart, right? So when you get a 9 top, assuming you're in a trend, you should get a pause or a sharp correction. In this case, Sui just went sideways for like a day. And then it went straight up. Straight up. And you had, 13 more up bars. So, Sui will probably blow through $4. The thing that's amazing about Sui is everyone's like, wow, it's radically overbought. No, actually, bro, it's not. Okay. So here's what happened in Sui, just so we can apply this elsewhere. And don't worry, I'm going to do Render and Tao. So what does Sui do? Well, here's the 62% retracement at 252. So from $0 to $5, and then we get down here. And then they stop everyone out. And then it looks like it's going to take it out, and we're going to get going again. And then they do a give up trade again. And they go back through the 62% retracement. And then what happens? You get this creeping bid. Then you get the big candle. It gets above the 62% retracement, and then it's gone. And then you think it's overbought, but then really you ask yourself, you know what? There was this huge rally, and really where we are right now is at the 38% retracement. And I ask you this, what would have happened? What would you think of Sui if it just went up and it kind of glided around and just sat there on the 38% retracement? Oh, you think, well, this thing's going to go up. It's fine. Just a little correction. Yeah. We're in the same place, except we had to do this whole idiotic end of the world down trade first. Crazy. Crazy. Is this overbought? Absolutely not. You're going to have today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Probably going to have the buying climax on Sunday before there's any hope of a correction. Right? I mean, leaders, right? Markets have leaders. First it was Solana. Now it's Sui. And they're just absolutely, absolutely, absolutely telling you what's going to happen in the rest of the market. It is. Because the thing is, it's just, it works this way on the way down. You don't know why it's going up like that. Just like when stuff started to go down and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? Okay, so Render hanging out right around this $4.50 area. This is obviously a gigantic rounding bottom, in my opinion. Right? It's not a top, it's a bottom. You do get a temporary tactical top, and what do you get? Nothing. You get it holding on support. Like the dip, the move from 470 to 435. Yeah, that was the dip. And this configuration in Render, right? Even though the history is limited because of the change in the contract, this is everywhere on weekly charts, right? Market goes down, right? It looks like it's going to resume the downtrend. It stops and turns around and goes up, especially at this area of the trend. That's extremely bullish. Tao. Oh my God. Oh my God. Toby, Big Rich, Bill Noble, Eagle King. Holy cow on this AI trade. AI. Soon as Farcoin started moving, this whole thing was going to go. Big Rich bought the low at 179. Next stop, 582, right? Like, where is real resistance in this? I mean, we can go to LuxAlgo, right? Tau, you will probably get a breather in the trend today or Monday, realistically, because this thing is outperformed. But then again, you know, it's outperformed, and then perhaps, you know, you're going to rotate into another area of AI, right? Or who knows? Maybe it takes out the 200-day moving average and blows through this LuxAlgo resistance at 379 and goes right to the equilibrium zone at 450. No, there's one other like idea is to just not get too cute. You don't have to get too cute here. If you own it and you don't have to like use the profits to like rotate in anything, why? Just leave it. And then when you look for dips, like today, artificial super intelligence token, yeah, it's a dip day because it was up huge yesterday. These are the dips, people. You get these 2% down days, that's the dip. I mean, it was this way on the way up, and now it's here again. Like, look at the graph, all this stuff that nobody even talks about anymore. Like, seriously, no one talks about it. Oh, God, look at this. Look at this virtuals. Look at this thing, man. Like, this was the hottest of the hot, crashed so bad. I spent like a month and a half in the discount zone like it was going to zero. Right now, the token is, 93 cents. Equilibrium, the balance zone in virtuals is at 2.8. And if you don't think they can do this whole thing in a month, you're crazy. They could do this whole thing in a week because, I mean, look at the trajectory of the down move in this. This is straight down. And then somebody held it down like it's like a basketball in the water. They just kept pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. And then what's going to happen is when they let go of it, it's just going to explode. Like they're like, oh, well, you know, it's up 20%. Who cares? Who cares? It's below $1 and its high was $5. Its average price is 2.8. Don't tell me it's up a lot. It's not up a lot. It shouldn't be here. Bitcoin Cash, same thing. Taking out the 200-day moving average. Litecoin hasn't gotten to its 200-day moving average. What do you think is going to happen? And this goes for XRP. We covered this, and I'm about to start making XRP videos like it was my job. Okay. Had a discussion with Toby about XRP. This has done nothing. If anything, it's ironic. XRP has been in such a stabilization mode that it's actually sitting on top of its 200-day moving average. They took it down 2 days, and it just sits there. And American-made cryptos, a full change in the conversation. And again, we haven't even gotten to the PowerPoint where I have pattern matches in the crypto stocks that the Patreon people are in and tucked in. When you see these pattern matches, and I also have the chart about who's coming next, who the next big corporate buyer of Bitcoin is. You just wait. You just wait. United States offers Saudi Arabia $100 billion in Lockheed Martin toys. What's that about? Well, you know, everybody has a right to defend themselves, and, you know, we make these things. But maybe we also want to keep oil being sold in dollars. So not only did they get whatever it is they wanted, but maybe we also made a deal that they continue to sell oil in dollars. The dollar needs to go lower, but the dollar doesn't need to go to zero, and they know it. So when they question the integrity of the dollar, when we made it obvious that we need a different form of money, and they're out making the deals like this. Okay. JC, a super chat. Sir, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Deals are being made, breaking from the Eagle King. It's over. Tariff talk is over. It's over. Vitalik in Ethereum Story focuses less about crypto and more on him as a human being. Okay, a super chat for virtual. Okay, we just did it. We'll do it again. You cannot believe what these coins are going to do on the upside, and it's not just virtual. Okay, there's the real LuxAlgo level for this coin is 2.8. And the thing that's amazing about this is that the second money flow, which has been trending up, the second money flow turns green. It was a $5 coin. AI agents were worth $5 billion. Now they're worth nothing. You got GOAT up 24%. Can you even tell it's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to buy GOAT coin. The algos bought fart coin. Trump's next. Trump's next. Right? He's got to get the whole crypto conversation turned around because they screwed up. They screwed up on this other stuff. They did. Somebody should learn about what Vitalik was trying to do to begin with. He was trying to improve on Bitcoin and get functionality and layer ones. And whether it's ETH or Sui or Solana or all three of them, I don't care. They're going to build something on these networks. And when they do, it's going to be huge. And they are the big players because they just had the daylight scared out of them. Bitcoin's going to blow through 100. And if they don't have a strategy, by the time their July earnings are out, they're fired. 5 charts predicting Bitcoin towards 100 in May, right? Double bottom. Love it. Is this my guy, Omar? No. Okay. Double bottom. Like it. Okay. Bull pennant. Like it. Measured move. It's simple. This is what the Bitcoin ETF looks like, right? Downward sloping wedge. Heat map. Liquidations. Oh, look at all the people we have to liquidate up here. Bitcoin profitability increases post breakout. So everyone was underwater. Now they're not. And they're not selling. And you're going to have a supply shock. Period. The only people selling were little guys that owned less than 1 Bitcoin. They bought the top. They puked it out at 80 and they left. And now they're going to come back and they bought it at 100 the first time. They'll do it again. Polygon CEO, DeFi must ditch hype for sustainable liquidity. There's nothing about complaining about DeFi right before all of legacy shows up to do it. And AI, frankly. I mean, again, in crypto, no one's going to figure this out. No one's going to sit around and jump from liquidity pool to liquidity pool, from layer 1 to layer 1. They're going to drop it in, and some sort of AI is going to move your crypto around to get the best yield. It's as simple as that. What do you think a mutual fund manager does? You give your money to the mutual fund manager, and he figures what stocks or bonds to put your money in. They're just going to have AI doing it because there's no fund managers in crypto. I mean, there is, but not in a decentralized fashion, and AI is going to do it. PayPal will give you 3.7% yield on your stablecoin, so they can watch everything you do, or you could buy Bitcoin instead. Bitcoin supply on exchanges is falling due to public company purchases. We talked about this yesterday. It's just going to be gone, right? You're going to have a supply shock, right? And then I think believe it or not, that's when the orange man probably wants to come in and pile it and have it go up, which is why the strategic Bitcoin reserve will probably, it should have been the first thing they did, but it'll probably be the next thing that they do after the market runs it up. After the market runs it up. Because again, you know, when the orange man is doing like tours of the White House to get his meme coin going to enrage the left, he's trying to change the subject. And there was no better subject for him than crypto. He was never more popular when Bitcoin was rampaging. I mean, Bitcoin for him is like a miracle. It's like, oh, okay. Well, whatever we did there, you know, that had a strange effect. That had a strange ending. Maybe we broke inflation. We hope we did. But, you know, we're not popular anymore. So how do we get popular? I don't know. How about we meet with El Salvador's crypto regulator who meets with the SEC and says it's very refreshing. I love this. NVIDIA continues to keep crypto at arm's length. Last minute halt on crypto announcement underscores how NVIDIA still excludes blockchain projects from its flagship programs. Probably because blockchain would involve them having to actually keep track of what they do. Right? Like selling chips to the wrong people, or like offering discounts to people to buy chips when allegedly the demand is off the charts and we can't keep up. But you know what? We'll give you a 20% coupon if you keep buying. This is not the only AI trade in the world. It's not. It's not. It may not even be the best one, right? And crypto, TAO, FART, Fetch, artificial superintelligence token, it's been telling you that. Again, leading indicators. Who's the first out of the gate? Toby, YouTube member area. Whatever leads, that's what's going. Whatever's new, that's what's going. A lot of stuff, $20 million market cap. A lot of stuff, 80% off where it was. Right? We got it in the YouTube member area. We got it in the Patreon store. For God's sakes, get in there and get involved. Bitcoin whales return in force. In force. These characters took profits at 100, thought they were geniuses. Now they're like, oh my God, if we don't get it back below 100, we'll never see it below 100 again. That's probably their mentality. You're definitely not going to see 80 ever again. That's done. Right? That's done. And they know it. They know it. Like anybody who sees the whole cyberpunk, crypto, AI, rebellious, McAfee, antivirus future knows anything below 100 is cheap. Sui STX layer 1 on Bitcoin, smoking to the upside. Amazing how we've replaced. Didn't we have bears in winter and stuff like that? Yeah, man, we had that. We had all of that. Okay, I'm going to PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is unbelievable. It's the best PowerPoint in 6 months. Orange Band approval rating falls to 37%. Disapproval rises to 57%. And there was a strategist from Bank of America who said, when approval rating or disapproval gets to a certain level, buy everything. And he was right. Right? One strategic Bitcoin reserve coming up. He better hurry the way this market trades. He was never more popular than when Bitcoin was smoking. I remember when he was at, Bitcoin Nashville. And he said, no more Gensler. And the crowd went crazy. And he was shocked. He was like, wow, let me say that again. And the crowd went crazy. And it was off to the races. Then he took all of RFK's Bitcoin's, themes and ran with them. And RFK wanted to back the currency and bonds with Bitcoin. They're going to do it. And the state of Texas is going to do it. And even if they're not going to do it, they're going to talk about it. And everybody's going to realize that if they don't buy it now, they're never going to get it. Or the concept that they will do it brings everyone in. And this time, there's no fake out because they've created a reason by accident. They almost fractured the entire system. And now everyone is going to do it with or without them. Before it was like, well, they have to do it. They have to buy our bags. They have to moon XRP. They have to have XRP in the reserve. No, they don't. I mean, they might. But that doesn't necessarily need to happen anymore. Okay, again, antivirus. Soulmixer.com. Anonymity is freedom. And there is John McAfee talking. Dead man talking. People are scared. I'm telling you. There's no marketing. There's no marketing that has an edge to where like big tech CEOs will like listen to this guy, or sovereigns can listen to this guy, and they can't shut it off. They can't shut it off, right? They can't put him in jail. They can't arrest him. They can't do what they did to him the first time. They can't do it. Like the power of this hasn't hit people because it's a dead guy talking. It's dead. Not anymore. Now, analog pattern match. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't have the history on the Bitcoin ETF. So this red is the last 120 days of action in GBTC, which used to be the Bitcoin ETF. And no matter how you line all this up, right? Basically, the red graph is today. The blue graph is history. It's back from Thanksgiving-ish, right after the election, and GBTC went straight up. MicroStrategy could be even more aggressive. This matches up on November 7th. So today is like November 7th of last year, and every single hedge fund on the planet is short this stock, and every single central bank, mutual fund, pension fund cannot buy enough of this. They are going to squeeze these hedge fund out in MicroStrategy. It's going to go to 600. And again, this is a computer just matching it up, saying, hey, you know what? This kind of looks like this, and this is where we're at. This could be gap and go. The gap is Sunday night. Because if there's no Asia mess, or if the orange man figures out that he can get on Twitter and instead of blowing up the whole world over the weekend, that he can come out and say, oh my God, here we go with the Bitcoin, whatever, like the Cantor Fitzgerald guy, right? Somebody goes to work in government and then decides to get hyper levered to buy Bitcoin after watching the show for 3 months. This could just be gap and go. Michael Saylor could be on TV on Tuesday going, yeah, is there something fresh here, boys? We got new information. Something. Yeah. What? You're asking me about my stock, about Bitcoin, about how I'm running my company, how I'm going to get liquidated? Really? Okay. Anyone who gets in this guy's way, I'm telling you, it's like tire tracks and dirt on your face. Marathon Digital, very similar, right? This was wildly volatile. But look at this red line. Like that's the graph of Marathon Digital. You know what a Bitcoin miner is? It's a Bitcoin farm, which is why Patreon get these guys in early, right? Early, right? Get them in. Now I'm getting you in because this thing could go straight up. All you need is something wild to happen on over the weekend. HUD 8 mining. Would you look at how depressed this is? We covered the DeMark work for Patreon. This is so depressed. It's like, I don't know. What are they thinking? Bitcoin was going to zero. They weren't going to get parts. Everybody's dumping Bitcoin miners for AI data centers. I understand why that happened. But you got to be kidding me with this. This could be the most valuable piece of software and money on the planet. And everybody sold it. Everyone sold it. Like, seriously, the most valuable form of software and the most valuable form of money at the same time, and everyone sold it. And look at how they bid up apps. Like, what's TikTok? What's, what's Twitter? What's any of these things? They're apps. They're apps. This is not an app. This is a farm for money. Coinbase. This surprised me. Coinbase. Right for the election. Just gap and go. Now, when you look at this, you're like, okay, Bill, that's nice. The computer just caught itself a match. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, what could transpire here? Could it be the strategic reserve? Could it be the orange man gets on the tape and starts bull posting this whole thing? Right? Could it be states, governments, sovereigns, or here it is. How about Elon Musk? The guy's already got $1 billion in Bitcoin. He doesn't like to talk about it because he's not, it looks like an imitator, not an innovator. He used to accept Bitcoin for Teslas, then came up with some BS that Bitcoin wasn't green enough. Look what happened to this guy's stock. This is the red, just destroyed. But look where it matches up. It also matches up near the election. Elon figures out that the way to change the conversation is to say, I'm buying Bitcoin. I couldn't cut the costs I could cut, so I'm buying Bitcoin. Elon wants to shame everybody. He doesn't have to go to the White House anymore and scream at Marco Rubio. He doesn't have to scream at Besson. He doesn't have to scream at anybody. He just has to buy Bitcoin. He's next. He's next. And he's going to say it too. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to send a message to Congress. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to start the rebellion. It's the Bitcoin rebellion, right? How especially with the trajectory of this stock. Like, how are you going to get people willing to take the risk, right? How are you going to stop the hate? Well, you spread the love. How do you spread the love? With Bitcoin. When the orange man shouts tariffs, volatility spikes. When volatility spikes, the treasuries responds. When they respond, liquidity rises and Bitcoin levitates. Once Bitcoin breaks 110, we enter alt season. Only tokens with real yield and cash flow will survive the next move. That's where the rotation will go. And Arthur Hayes says, our bags are packed. And you know what? Between the YouTube member area and the Patreon store, get your bags packed. Get your bags packed. Because when this thing goes, it is just going to go. And we have been in here for 10 days, pounding the table. Sometimes I'm so destroyed. Just having to look at this thing on a day in and day out basis. The guidance, the predictions, right? There was a bunch of coins. We've gone through some of these coins. We're going to wind up going through all of them on the YouTube member podcast. But if you want it all now, they're in the Patreon store. And we've been going through 5, 10 coins per episode. Her going, yeah. Here's a hint. You want to know how radical we got in this? She wanted to buy the dip in Ohm down 90%. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's nuclear. I can't touch that. She's like, no, it's buy the dip. Crazy, right? Not really. Actually, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Supply shock equals minor revenue. Bobby, a member for 6 months, is here. Welcome, sir. D-Pods, Galaxy Digital's NASDAQ listing. Oh my God. Right? That's why they had to go and get rid of mining and go to AI data centers for that to show diversification in their model. Right? But, you know, Mike is going public. Okay? Somebody is asking me, do I still use token metrics for price predictions? I don't. But somebody told me that their whole model beeped on the market yesterday. I mean, look, a good analyst will never say, will always respect other people's work, right? Everyone has their work that they do. They're a momentum following system. You want me to do it? I'll do them a favor. We are about to enter the market where that system can be the most useful. Because when you see this whole thing start turning up, especially off the lows, when it beeps, everything could go SPX 6900. Remember that? I mean, we give you the coins now, right? We give it to you now. We got you in at the low, right? But when these momentum systems start beeping, forget about it. Forget about it. So, I mean, that's my view on that. Whatever tool you got to use it. Crypto Chronic is here from Indiana. Welcome, sir. Big Rich hitting the green button. Virtuals targets. Huh, we didn't do virtuals targets. Ooh. You guys want to get wild? Let's get wild. All right. So that's the virtuals perpetual. Let's see. Right. I'm sharing. Okay. Let me share screen. Okay. So when we look at virtuals, right? Okay, so the short version of virtuals, the short version is everything's going back to its high. That's it, right? What's the upside target for my project? Everything's going back to its high. Now, I realize that most people, that doesn't register with anybody. It may not. Okay. I'm trying to get the entire history of virtual when it was like decentralized. There we go. Virtual. There we go. Come on. Okay. Here we go. So let's see if we can play hidden pivot analysis to drive this point home. Okay. So the hidden pivot analysis shows that the upside target in virtuals is 5.6. The ignition rally level is $1.73. So virtuals is not even close to where you would expect it to just do a monster rocket takeoff. An absolute monster rocket takeoff. Like these things are all going to make new highs. Where's AIntivirus if virtuals is trading at 5 billion? And when you say 5 billion to me now, it doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't. I mean, let's go look at total crypto market cap. If we're just going to go off, let's go off. Let's have a happy Friday. This market has been absolutely brutally miserable for I don't know how long. Oh my God, look at this. Total altcoin market cap. Look at this. Look at this quiet breakout. This has been going on for in a lot of coins, TA basis, right? So you break through, you come back. You break down, you come back, right? You break out, you come down again, and then you come back. Total altcoin market cap, total free, is at equilibrium. There is nothing unbalanced, overbought about altcoins at all, not even close. So if the whole altcoin space, that means not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, everything else, which is still only worth $824 billion, which is a joke, right? All of the cyberpunk, Web3, AI, robot future. Robot's a $10 trillion market, but Web3 is only worth $800 billion. This doesn't get to the premium zone until 1.6T. Now, you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, that means everything's going to move like Sui. 40%. All coins as a group could go up 40% before you have to discuss it being overbought. And there's so much stuff that, I don't know, has kind of gone to zero. Like, virtuals, like, oh, so we went from 0 to 5 billion to 900 million. This is total altcoin market cap. If you get LuxAlgo, right? You did multiple quiet breakouts here. Multiple, right? You did a quiet breakout above that trend line, and you did a quiet breakout above this smaller trend line by just going sideways, right? This whole market broke itself out by going sideways. And then it just lurched up. And again, total 2 coming outside this fib circle area. And if you want to get into minutia, right? Again, just like total 3 at the 200-day moving average, you break out. You don't think the market analysis is there? Oh, I think it does, right? Pops down, pops straight back up. It went up when it came back down. It still held the line. And now you just have this like little creeping big. Everybody's sleeping. Everyone's sleeping. Everyone thinks that they don't have to do anything. Yeah, and I know why. Because the market's never up 2 days in a row. The market goes up. People watch YouTube content. The market goes down. No one watches. Because you can't get 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Goes up, people watch. Stops going up, people stop watching. It's that whole attention span thing. But if you have boom, 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 and Bitcoin's through 100, forget it. You won't be able to buy these altcoins. I mean, you will. But, you're going to pay higher prices. Hedera taking out the 200-day moving average, right? After doing the sideways breakout. Like, how hard is it? It doesn't have to be, they don't have to do the strategic reserve. The orange man just has to come out and say, yeah, we want Web3 as a big growth industry. I don't know what happened to that. See, that was the screw up. The screw up was everything was about the tariffs, and there wasn't anything about like growth. It was like, oh, let's cut spending and let's nail this guy on tariffs and let's get all nasty. Dude, Web3, AI, where was that? That was a big Bobby thing. Like, look, we got $37 trillion. We got to grow our way out of it. Oh, okay. So we got to grow our way out of it. And the crypto market's answer to that is to take everything down 90% because of a brouhaha in legacy. Okay, yeah, I understand. It all moves together. I get it. But that's over, right? And they've embarrassed themselves, right? They've embarrassed themselves. Ooh. Okay. Cynthia Lummis. Ooh. It's time for Cynthia Lummis and Michael Saylor to get out on the offensive. The Federal Reserve's actions yesterday withdrawing crypto guidance are just lip service. The Fed continues to illegally flout the law on master accounts. Unlike blah, 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 the Fed still uses reputation risk in bank supervision. Guess what? There's a new way to smack up Jerome Powell. Sick and tired of you. You know how you do it? You just moon Bitcoin. You just moon it. And you take all the altcoins with it, right? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. She will continue to hold the Fed accountable under the digital asset until the digital asset industry gets more than a life jacket. You know what, Cynthia? Good for you. You know what Cynthia needs? She needs help from somebody more than Michael Saylor. We need the Orange Man. We need Lutnick. We need Bessent. We need these guys out in front. And again, people, listen, this Bitcoin conference, I mean, I can't go personally. I would love to meet you all there. I can't make it, right? But I got an affiliate link for some kind of deal on this thing. And I don't, it's like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, it's not like I'm a Wendy O and I have like, 5,000 people live, although I would love to. And I would still remember all the people who were here originally. So it's not like I'm going to make a gazillion dollars on commissions on this thing, but this is probably going to be the biggest thing in the history of crypto. It's going to be bigger than Bitcoin Miami, which was, the thing everyone had to be at because it was the first conference, the first time they let anybody out after cough, cold, and flu. That's going to be monstrous, right? And, I don't know, breaking news from the Eagle King. I lost my share button. Where did I lose that? How did I lose that? Breaking news from the Eagle King. The boys with the blue jackets. Okay. There was a judge in a liberal state who just got detained for blocking federal agents. So the sovereigns are fighting within. Now, it doesn't matter whose side you're on, but if they're fighting with each other, does that make you want to own their currency? I don't think so. And like the second I start hearing things like this, I go back to my LuxAlgo and I go back. I know, everyone's trying, no one wants to talk about it. I keep going to the fact that Ethereum is only 15% above its discount zone, right? A decentralized way to do everything. And I don't care what network they do it on. I really don't. I don't care. But when you start seeing, like, you got to think about this, like my generation, by the way, ETH 164% to its premium zone. And everyone is selling. Everyone. No one likes it. Good. I mean, to have like law enforcement having to act against a judge for not following the law, it's the world is bananas, right? And you live in this world. And when I made these things for when we do the Patreon members, right? When we get them set up, when we do the YouTube member, Toby's talking this all the time. You know what Toby says? It's like, I was kind of like a spiritual person. I still am. And I do crypto. I don't really know why I'm here. I just know I'm here to save you from something big, right? Why do crypto? Why do crypto? Why spend $45 on a membership, $50 on a report, $25 for a membership? Why? Why? Because you need crypto to save your life. You need the money and you need it to save your life. Like the people who left, they could be making a bigger mistake than they think. Because if they come back and they come back in time, and you'll always be able to come back in time because you're never too late. You're never too early. You're right on time. But, I'm screaming, I'm giving people the business because I want y'all in now. I want you all in before this thing goes. This thing went on a Saturday before, and this could be Sunday or Monday. I mean, again, at the end of the month, Legacy has to look at this, say Thursday of next week. By this time next week, everybody, and let me tell you something, this means everybody has to have a Bitcoin or crypto plan. If you're a financial institution, meaning if you trade, you got to be long. If you're a mutual fund, you got to be overweight, right? When they rebalance all their portfolios at the end of the month, they could come into this and not care. They're not going to be price sensitive. Were they price sensitive in SUI this week? Like, why is no one talking about that? There was no articles like, yeah, SUI went up. Yeah, that's nice. No, dude. SUI is a leading indicator, and it's telling you what's going to happen here. I'm telling you what's going to happen here. Toby's been telling you for 2 months. Toby's been telling you for 2 months. I sat here. I looked. And then I saw that day when it decoupled, and that was it. And it's off to the races, and people don't get that, which is why I'm screaming now, which is why we stayed up. We did everything we had to do. We worked so that now all you got to do is you tune into the podcast, get the membership or get a report or all three, and let's go. We're talking about like your personal future in every way, your financial security, your safety, your sanity, right? Protecting your money from computers. And McAfee's going to come back. No matter what happens to that project, right? McAfee is coming back, right? And when that project is attached to McAfee coming back from the dead to remind you about all the things that just happened, the power of that is unbelievable. Like when I can interview him on the show and that project has some measure of utility to protect you from Skynet, and then you start mixing that with Bitcoin and Ethereum or anything on Coinbase. Better get on Coinbase, right? One of the projects that we have, one of the reports that we have, everything is either on Coinbase or available in a Coinbase wallet, right? The Web3 wallet that they have. Okay. All right, folks. We want to express our appreciation. Appreciate your business. All of our members, we appreciate your viewership. Hit the like button and the notification bell on the way out. And don't forget to check the QR code and the link down below for that Bitcoin conference, because I'm telling you, that could wind up being huge. We will see you soon.